啊，一边跳，一边。
Hi guys, welcome to Bushcraft Camp Update 10. It's been a while since the previous camp update video, and I've been here with Dad and we've actually made a hell of a lot of progress on the camp. You might not see much change, but we've changed a lot of the things that were here previously. Starting with this used to be my secondary shelter, it's actually now my primary shelter. I have done the overnighter in this shelter, this area here. So the raised bed is the same at the moment, but I will raise that slightly higher, maybe in another camp update video. The main project that we did with this one was we've raised the back of the shelter over there, of the lean-to. This is a simple lean-to, but we raised the back of it by about 12 inches, 12 to 15 inches. And what that's done is, if I lie down, that's given me so much more headroom now and space at the back to put any gear. Because previously I had cross struts here and they were right on my face. So if I got up in the night, I'd be hitting the edge of this tarp here. So basically it's given me a hell of a lot more room. I can still raise this bed up more and I won't be too far away from it. And it's just a lot more comfortable. It's given me more space. I can sit down and I can still, I'm a small person anyway, but I can still sit up in it. So that's one of the major changes that we did. I'll take you around the other side and show you what we changed over there as well. So at the back of the shelter here, you can actually see the stakes that myself and Dad have put in, and obviously you can see the extra logs that we put here just to raise it up. Now, as a bit of extra cover on the top, we've used some moss. There's pretty much a moss field around us here in this pine forest. It's very dense pine forest, so the forest floor doesn't see much light, so there's loads of moss around. So what we've done is we've packed it down with moss, and over time, yes, that moss will kind of die off and die away, but there's so much moss here that can get redone, and we can redo it over time. I will eventually probably build up the area here with some moss as well, because if there's any draft coming in from the wind, it would just cut out that undercutting draft there. So, as you can see, almost like Hobbiton, Lord of the Rings. Frodo would be pleased with what we've done here. But either way, it's insulated the shelter a lot more as well. Keeps all that heat in the camp.
We started to fill up the log store, but let's face it guys, that's pretty labour intensive on the elbows. But we've got it maybe a quarter full at the moment. That can all be drying out. We stacked it up off the ground as well, try it so it doesn't draw any moisture. And all the choppings and leftovers and slivers of wood will all make good stuff to start fires with as well, once you get that initial fire going and get the kindling going. So that can stay in there, that'll be a little bit dry, and obviously maybe we can raise this up and put a piece of tarp over there if we want to keep the wood really dry. There's so much deadfall in this forest, you know, we're not short of dead wood for sure. Also, Mike's got that seek and destroy, bomb-proof, definitely survivalist unit over there with a lot of wood. This side, I've raised up the same by about 10 inches at the back there, so you can get right up underneath there. But I've put crossbars across up there, tied them round, then put the tarp over, and then covered the top with bracken. So this is still the same height, but look, I can get in there, no problem at all. You can get a bed in here. Well, you get 2 people in there if you wanted. There you go, look how far I can come back. In fact, I think you get 4 people in there, to be honest. You have a party. But this is up here, it's holding all that up. And don't forget, it's only bracken, so it's very, very light. If it blows off, no problem, we'll put some more on. And I'll tell you what it does do, keeps it quite dark here, so I can imagine you'd have a really good night's sleep here.
So one of the other major changes that we made was we moved the fire pit. Now, in my previous solo overnighter that I did here at camp, I did get really smoked out halfway through, in the middle of the night basically, because the fire pit was too close to the shelter and it was getting up underneath my lean-to. So what we've done is we've basically moved the fire pit 2 feet, about 2 feet away from where it was previously, and that's helped benefit us in 2 ways. A, it stopped the smoke going in that shelter, but you can still feel the warmth. But B, it's also enabled a bit more heat to then go into this shelter over here, so it's much more central now in the camp. So the whole camp is just a bit more insulated. Now obviously as I've moved that, I've had to move my cooking crane, so we've changed the setup slightly here, in that rather than pointing this way like it did, it points over the fire pit. It doesn't get in the way, so you can walk in and out. It used to get a bit awkward as we walked in, but now you can walk in and out quite easily. So that hangs like that, and I've made, as opposed to just one pot hanger, which I had here, that was my basic pot hanger, and as you can see there's a notch at the bottom here, where I hang my billy can. So that was my main one, but I've also made one that's longer, so that if the fire is lower at any point, that one, as you can see, is pretty much touching the flames now, can go lower. And then I made one that's shorter, so that if I've started a fire early and I need to get boiling water quickly, I'll use the short one, and the billy can will hang much higher up. So hopefully you can see that. If I twist this round, like so, so you don't see the flames a bit, and you can see it there, There's the short one, there's the medium height one, and there's the long one. So 3 different fire situations. If I'm starting a fire early and there's high flames and I need to boil water quickly, I can use this one. If I'm doing long-term cooking and the fire's, you know, average height, I'll use this one. And if it's on embers or coals and I just want to maybe keep something warm in the billy can, then I can use this. Obviously I can just put the billy can straight on the fire, but we have a fire grill as well, which fits perfectly in our fire pit.
We also had to move the 2 chairs because we got the fire moved. So the stools here, relocated, relashed up, stakes driven in down there. So that's up against this tree, so you can lean right back there, chill big time. The other one we got just over there. It's all about moving it maybe a foot or so, but it sort of seems to have made the camp more central. I think it's revolving all around this fire. I must admit, it's made a lot more space there. Anyway, that's pretty much what we've done. Well, it's not, we've done loads more than that. I think Mike's actually made a table over there as well.
So I've made this simple table here, dead simple to make. Hopefully you saw that in the video. Nice and flat, got my cookser, water bottle, billy. We can use this for anything. It's basically like our kitchen prep table now. So we can prep any game that we bring in, like George I did with the pheasant. That video's gone really popular, by the way, so thanks for watching that one. But yeah, we can prepare all our food here for the fire, for cooking on the fire, and just use it as a general storage place as well for just dumping gear, to be honest.
Also, just a little idea I had, like bricks, I wanted to lay these timbers that we might need stakes, we might need timber. We've lugged them all in from further away in the forest. If you've got lengths you don't need, put them here. It stops them getting all damp and rotting on the floor, lets the air get around them. It dries out. It's either firewood or stakes.
So this is now our work area. I've got my permanent chopping log here, which I do all my axe work with. And actually Dad came up with a really good idea. Let's put the sawhorse over here, which we've staked in down the side here. So it's now, it doesn't rock as much, so we staked it in. But this is now basically our work area. So we didn't do this in the middle of the camp. A lot of people said, why don't you put this in the middle of the camp? Well, the reason being is if I'm chopping wood and I'm sawing in the camp, A, it's going to get really messy, there's going to be bits everywhere, but B, it just uses up all the space in the camp. I want the camp to have a bit of space in it, and now I've got a nice work area out here.
Guys, here you are, welcome to the totally awesome kitchen. Easy one today, a saucepan with beans in it. I'm going to put some hot dogs as well, but we've done this before beach fishing. You can cook the two together. Just cut them into about, I guess about an inch long, something like that. And you'll find if you cook them on the fire, the hot dogs and the beans, they eat well together, they cook well together, and they go down in the tummy well together as well. Right guys, the camp that Mike's built here is actually on the borders of the pine forest and deciduous, which means all the leaves fall off the trees. They don't over here, but that's a balancing ground between creatures living there. Not much lives in this forest, even bird-wise. They do live in the deciduous, and I know that the reason we've had to move our knapsack of food up on the pulley is just in case the wild animals of England come in. And we don't have pumas, mountain lions, cougars, wolverines. We don't have any of that stuff. We have politicians, but there are foxes, and a fox will shred that bag to get at the food. Now I found a game trail here. It goes all the way up here, and just here, this is from the last time we came, is the evidence that a fox has been here. I just snapped that off, and I can tell that's a fox because there's a little pointed bit there at the end of the droppings there. So that's a fox that's been up there, and from here he's come up this game trail, he's worn it over years, and he's pointing straight towards, yes, our camp. But he won't get our grub because it's now up that tree on that little system, keeping it out the way of him. Yeah, Mike's put the steel plate, the metal plate in the bottom of it, dug down to the gravel, got the rocks around the edge, all safe. Got a little fork stick, gonna put our mesh grill on there. Well guys, this is a really fast, easy way to get some good grub down your neck. But somebody forgot the plates, so Mike's got a cup full of beans and hot dogs.
Ready for a tea in it afterwards.
And I've got mouth burning, hot stuff. It's good anyway, it's good grub. Actually, talking of hot dogs, we're actually a dog missing.
Yes, yeah. Comes back and forward to the camp.
Digs holes.
Yeah, he digs a lot of holes, but we will bring him back more often. And especially now the weather's getting milder. The reason he's not been in the videos recently, the last few, is that because it has been cold. And now we're getting towards early spring anyway. we will be bringing him more. The other thing is, in summer it's quite difficult, peak summer, bringing him here, because there's lots of bugs around for dogs. There's ticks, there's harvest mites, which actually irritates the hell out of dogs. He got those towards the end of summer last year when he was a real young pup, and they can absolutely annoy the hell out of dogs. So you can look them up, harvest mites. They look like paprika. It's quite scary actually how abundant they are around, and you don't even see them until they're on you. Well, it's getting towards that time of the day now where we've had some food, and we traditionally on our videos we finish off our episodes with what's called theory time, where we throw out some wacky theory out there and we try and get you guys engaged and to give us your feedback and actually your opinion on the theory that we throw out there. Today's theory is not from me, it's going to be from the old nut over here. And what is it?
Right, some of you older guys out there, maybe some younger people as well, might be aware of what's called EMF, that's electromagnetic fields. Now, here's the story. There's a plane coming over now. Oh, it's not a rescue plane for us.
Smoke.
Anyway, we went to look at our property once, and you do what's called a survey on the property. We didn't have the survey done, we're interested in buying it. But these people live pretty close to pylons, you know, the big pylons from the national grid that carry all the power down to the main cities and towns and stuff like that. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I was concerned why they had a luxury penthouse bedroom upstairs, but the husband and wife selling the house didn't live up there. They didn't live up there. Isn't it? It was weird.
Why not live in up there?
The husband was not a well man, unfortunately, but he had an electrical workshop to be marvelled at. A triple garage, big lathes and everything. A canal was between the pylons, okay, and his workshop. So you think, oh, nothing much happening there. Fine, okay. It bothered me quite a bit because we were real close to buying this place, and it just bothered me why they're not living in the luxury bedroom, okay? So, doing negotiations with the estate agent, which is real estate in America, with the agent, he obviously knew I wanted to pursue that electromagnetic field thing. It was bothering me, something was bothering me about the proximity of the pylons. He said he would give me, at the time you can buy them, the survey report from another buyer that was interested in it, and for some reason they pulled out. Why did they pull out? I got the survey, no word of a lie, this is the truth, I'm not making it up. The survey said that I think it was within 600 yards the electromagnetic field is tubed down and brings all the particulates of pollution right down to the cities, etc. They're all channeled down in a big spiral. Okay, so when we looked at the EMF report, these people I'm glad you moved the fire there, Mike, brilliant.
I might have to get
these people, right, who had the survey done had an electromagnetic field survey done on it. Wait for this. Of the whole house, the one room where the EMF went off the scale was in this luxury penthouse bedroom. She even slept in a separate bedroom from her husband downstairs. Now that's the truth. I don't know that the man's still alive. He was not a well puppy. But what we also learned was that EMF, electromagnetic field, could be transmitted via the canal into his workshop and magnified it. I don't know. Have any of you ever come across any EMF reports? I know that it's joined with illnesses, you can look it up on the internet anyway, but that's a genuine personal experience I've had where people have moved out of a particular bedroom to go downstairs because the EMF, when they got a survey done, off the scale.
Everyone's going to get an EMF report now for their houses.
Probably.
Walking around with little Ghostbuster
I personally will not go near pylons.
You hate them, don't you? Yeah.
Well, just, you put a kettle on and go with an EMF recorder near an electric kettle. It's much safer, much safer.
When we put the microwave on in the house, he goes round the corner. He just...
It's true.
I put it in and I stand a couple of metres back. He goes round the corner out the room because he doesn't want the brain fries.
His sister puts in her porridge, shuts the door, and then she looks at the door to see how her food's cooking. It's a wonder her brain hasn't caught on fire. I keep telling her, Charlie, don't stand near the microwave. Listen, who knows about EMF? Let us know in some of those comments. We know some of you guys are all into that sort of stuff. I'm generally curious about it. There you go, another theory for you to theorise about. Meantime, what? Start putting the fire away?
Yeah, we'll put it away, pack up and probably head on our way. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and be sure to check out the rest of our bushcraft videos in our playlist in the link below.